Hi, and thanks for watching This Week in East Brunswick. This week, John Meggiolaro, host of Channel 8 Sports Talk, interviews Donna Spengel and Nabil Estefanos, two outstanding athletes at East Brunswick High School and this year's recipients of the Sports Talk Athlete of the Year Award. Also, we'll have some information on water use in the town from Mike Opaleski, Acting Director of Public Works and Water Resources. Arts Coordinator Dolly Vasta will tell us about an upcoming concert this weekend at the Community Beach. Our regular features will start with Paul Hansen's Money Tips, this week with income shifting techniques. Health Facts with Dr. Michael Nissenblatt, and more information on winning the war against cancer. And Consumer Aware with Adrian Eisner and tips for pool safety. But first, a look at what's on Channel 8 next week. Monday at 10 a.m., it's Look Great, Feel Great with Lenore Kulik. At 10:30, it's Target with host Paula Durant and her guests Fred Street and William Nolan discussing living with an adolescent. Tuesday at 7:30 p.m., it's Let's Talk Health with Ken Shalhoub and his guest Dr. Steven Silberberg speaking about contact lenses. At 8 p.m., Paul Hansen and Les Cohen discuss investing in futures on You and Your Money. Wednesday at 3 p.m., it's the PBS-produced series Reading Rainbows. At 7:30 p.m., Superintendent of Schools Dr. Joseph Sweeney spotlights the high school stage band, the Indigos. And we'll be back Thursday at 7 and 8 p.m. with an all-new This Week in East Brunswick. And be sure to check the Channel 8 program guide for repeats of all of our shows.
Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro, host of Sports Talk, coming to you for This Week in East Brunswick. Once again, it's my pleasure to introduce to you our male and female high school athlete of the year. This year, for the 1985-1986 season, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Donna Spengel as our female high school athlete and Nabil Estefanos as our male high school athlete. Donna and Nabil, welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. Let's find out a little bit about you. I know about you, and we here at Sports Talk actually selected you two, so we looked through your background, and both as an athlete and as a student. But I think it's helpful to let the people at home know a little bit about you. Donna, you played, let's say, soccer, basketball, and track, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Which is your favorite sport?
I guess I like soccer the best, but as of now, I'd be playing basketball in college.
Okay, so you're going to stay with basketball through
Yeah.
college. You played for Lucosa, South Picarillo, and in track it was Harry Morris.
Yeah.
3 different personalities, 3
Very.
super guys and super coaches. Not to say who was your favorite, but who did you really enjoy playing under? If you had a choice. I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit, Don.
I'd have to say Mr. Morris.
Yeah. Harry.
We had our ups and downs, but we did eventually get along.
Harry brings that infectious personality with him on the field, doesn't he? I mean, you hear his voice all over. He's yelling and screaming. He's laughing and crying with you too.
Yeah.
Super kind of guy. Nabil, you played soccer and track, and
Yeah.
I think everyone in town knows you for your soccer exploits with Dan Hastings. Tell us a little bit about it. You were fortunate to play on some super teams.
Yeah. Basically, I was lucky that our team the last 2 years was a very good team. And so when the team did well, then it was possible for different individuals to also get honors, and as I did this year.
Let's talk a little bit about that. I know you two are somewhat modest, and before the show said, I really don't feel comfortable in talking about what I've done. But let's talk, how about in school itself, some of the other activities besides sports, some extracurricular activities. Donna, any clubs that you were involved in?
Really just the National Honor Society. Didn't have much time for the clubs.
I guess not in 3 sports. Nabil?
Yeah, I also was a member of the National Honor Society, and I was also senior representative for the Key Club.
Great. So much has been said lately about, the student athlete, the fact that there are no true student athletes anymore. You two typify the fact that there are, and have shown us this year that by your performances that you are student athletes, that you can hit the books and hit the playing fields equally as well. Do you think there's a lot made of being a student athlete? You're going on to college now. Is there a concern about how you're going to be looked at in terms of athletics or a student? Donna?
Yes, I've heard some responses from people that a lot of people are either seen as a student or an athlete. A lot of teachers don't look at it both ways, that you have two responsibilities.
Do you have any problem, you think, reconciling the fact that you're going to a whole new environment now, school, where college is a lot different than high school, obviously, it's a step up, and now you're going to play basketball on a college level. Are you concerned about balancing that study aspect with the playing aspect?
Yes, I am, but I think that I've done it in high school and I've got an insight and I can put it to work at college.
Yeah, I'm sure. Nabil, you're going to MIT, I understand.
Yeah.
By the way, Donna's going to Lock Haven, right, in Pennsylvania?
Yes.
And Nabil's going to MIT, Division III school, so they offer no scholarships.
Right.
Are you going to play soccer, though, up there?
Yeah, I plan to play soccer in the fall, and hopefully that won't take too much time out of my studies, because that MIT is very difficult.
Yeah, it is really difficult. I want to ask you, last year our winners were Glenn Pazinko and Dawn Borchell, and it was interesting in talking with them. They had time, like you two have now, to look back at their high school careers. What would you say was the lowest moment in any of your athletic careers? Donna? That's a tough one, huh?
Yes. I guess I'd have to say ending the basketball season on well, we played Hunterdon Central, and I think we all thought we could win, and we were up for it, and we ended up losing, and that was the end of the season.
Okay, let's flip the coin. What was your greatest moment as a high school athlete? It's tough. You want to think about it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Nabil.
Okay, well, as far as the lowest moment is probably this year when we lost the Heights down in the Central Jersey Finals, I believe it was, because we thought we would make the finals this year, and we had a strong team, and when it ended early, it was very difficult, because the year before we did make it to the finals.
All right, and the high spot for you?
The high spot, that's difficult. Perhaps, I guess on a personal note, the high spot was finally receiving my All-State certificate at the All-State banquet.
Sure.
Because
all those hard years of work, it kind of paid off. That's super. Donna, we're not going to let you off the hook here. Anything come to mind?
I guess just the fact that what I achieved in track through the javelin, I never thought I could, go that far in track.
That's
and
great.
Get where I did.
What are you going to miss about high school, in particular high school athletics? I don't know if it's hitchy yet. I know when I left East Brunswick High School, and everyone's so anxious about getting out, and then I guess it was July or August, I sat back and it finally hit me that aspect of my life was over. And it was kind of sad, but as you go on, the memories kind of replenish that. But what do you think you're going to miss? The people, the coaches, your teammates? Nabil?
yeah, I'm going to miss my friends and my teammates. I'm also going to miss the fun, perhaps, because I'm not sure how college athletics compares to high school athletics, because it might be more serious. But we had a good time the 3 years that I played soccer.
Oh, yeah. Donna?
I think I'll miss the comfort of knowing the friends and the teammates and the coaches, and just knowing a lot of people that I'm with.
But that's all part of it. Now you start now. Let me show for our audience the certificates that are presented to each of the award winners. And I'm going to just turn to my left here. There's a certificate here for Donna and Nabil, signifying the fact that they are in this year's Sports Talk Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Award. And in addition, what we have done is we have a plaque that I'll show on camera for you with Donna and Nabil's name. And this plaque will be displayed out in the library. here in East Brunswick Library for all friends and family and future athletes to see. And let me say this, and I mean this with all sincerity, and I think I can speak for the people in East Brunswick, that you two are two truly special individuals, fine representatives of our Sports Talk Award, and we're so pleased that you were able to join us today, and that we wish you the best of luck to both of you at Lock Haven and MIT. And I hope you'll keep in touch with us. I know I got a phone call the other day from Glenn Pazinko. Let me know what he's doing. So please do that, because we'd like to know. And I hope things go well for you, and I'm sure they will. And just one little last gift that we would like to present you each with. I'll give that to Nabil. I'll hold Donna's up. Sports Talk hat, just a little remembrance of us, and a little send-off to the both of you at school. So good luck, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, for Donna Spengel and Nabil Estefanos, I'm John Meggiolaro for This Week in East Brunswick.
Hello, I'm Michael Opaleski, and I'm Acting Director of Public Works and Water Resources. The reason I'm on the TV this evening and during the day is to inform you of the odd-even watering ban. The tank that you see in back of me is a 1.5 million gallon storage tank located behind the Brunswick Square shopping mall. I am trying to show you in some way the proportion of the water system that would be needed in the event we did not observe the odd-even watering. As I said, the tank behind me is 1.5 million gallons. If you could imagine having 8 tanks additional like this around town to compensate for the tremendous water demand that has been placed on the water system. We are trying to manage a resource by having the ability to use odd-even. We do not want our customers to be overburdened by an unfair rate or a rate that would be increased on a yearly basis to pay for major capital improvements. What we're doing is trying to manage the water that we presently have. We do not, and I repeat, do not have a water shortage. We have more water available to us than we have ever in the history of the water utility or the Township of East Brunswick. We are requesting and asking the residents to please observe the odd-even watering system. If it is not observed, we do have people now in the streets that will be issuing warnings, and at the second time you will be summoned, appearable in court, for a fine of $50 for non-compliance with the odd-even watering system. The system of odd-even has been developed through the cooperation of Rutgers Extension Service. So if you are fearing losing your plants or lawn, that will not be the case. We have been assured through the Agricultural Center that the non-watering of one day will not in any way impair the plants or lawns of any residents. If you have any further questions to be answered concerning the odd-even system, please call the water utility at either 390-6793 or my office at 396-886. Thank you very much.
I'm Paul Hansen with this week's Money Tip. One of the most popular ways to help children prepare for the cost of upcoming college tuition costs is by transferring money into an account that has the minor's social security number on it, while the adult remains as the custodian on the account. What this means is that the appreciation on that account is taxed at the minor's rate, which is generally lower than the person giving the money. This means that less of the gain on the account goes to Uncle Sam, and the grantors get the asset out of their portfolio while still retaining control of the investment. Another income shifting technique has to do with charitable contributions. Instead of giving an outright cash donation, consider giving an appreciated asset. For example, suppose you had bought a stock 2 years ago for $1,000. It's now currently worth $4,000. If you sold it yourself, you would have to pay tax on the gain. But you could give the stock to your favorite charity and receive a $4,000 tax deduction. Letting the charity sell the stock, they will not have to pay any income tax on its sale. You have now made a $4,000 charitable contribution, which is tax deductible, from an initial $1,000 investment. There's no one better able to manage your money than you. Make the wise decision. I'm Paul Hansen, host of You and Your Money, with this week's Money Tip.
Hi, I'm Dolly Promo for This Week in East Brunswick, and I'm here with Karen Burke, who's manager for the Division of Recreation. We're both sitting here at the beautiful East Brunswick Community Beach, and we're talking about the concert that's coming up Sunday night, right?
Absolutely.
And what time is the concert Sunday night,
7
Karen?
o'clock promptly, but maybe they should get here earlier in the day so that they can enjoy the entire beach and then stay for the festivities.
Why not? Why not? Bring the family. You start at, say, noon. Come up here, take a swim. The refreshment stand is open. And guess who's coming at 6:30? I forgot to tell even you. Fi from the Snooze family.
Aha.
The Sentinel will be up here at 6:30 to entertain the youngsters. And then the concert will start at 7 o'clock. But do you know we have not told them what the concert is, which is important.
Better
right.
get on it.
Okay, it's the Happy Days String Band and Strutting Mummers. Now, how about that? Foot stomping, hand clapping. It's going to be a blast.
I think so.
All right, we're all ready for you. You come up here. Listen, the beach has been newly renovated, right?
Yeah, doesn't it look great?
Oh, it's gorgeous. I may never go back to work this afternoon.
I don't want to either, but I guess we have
Okay,
to.
why don't we just stay and have a little swim? Oh, by the way, this concert is being sponsored by the East Brunswick Arts Commission and the Division of Recreation and Parks, and we are being, this is very important, partially funded by the Middlesex County Neighborhood Arts Consortium, a project of the Middlesex County Cultural and Heritage Commission, made possible by a grant from the New Jersey State Council on the Arts. Wow, I got it all.
That is a mouthful,
That
I have to admit.
definitely is a mouthful. Okay, we'll say goodbye to you now, but we'll see you Sunday night, right?
At the beach.
Say goodbye, Gracie.
Bye, everybody.
And now for Health Facts with Dr. Michael Nissenblatt. Dr. Nissenblatt is a clinical associate professor of medicine with the Robert Wood Johnson Medical School, a fellow of the American College of Physicians, and a medical oncologist with a private practice in New Brunswick. He is currently president of the Middlesex branch of New Jersey Division of the American Cancer Society.
Are we making progress against cancer? In 1983, the last year for which mortality from all causes is complete, cancer claimed 443,000 lives in the United States. But did you know that nearly 770,000 people died of heart disease? For every person who died of cancer, nearly 2 people died of heart disease. Yet a common skepticism, both among physicians and public alike, is that it is the war against cancer which we are losing. Well, if we examine the data, we can see that between 1950 and 1982, the number of deaths due to cancer rose even when we adjust the death rate to the aging of the population in our country, the so-called age-adjusted death rate. In fact, for every 100,000 people, 170 died of cancer in 1962, and 185 died of cancer in 1982. This amounts to a rise of nearly 0.5% per year in just a 20-year interval. The National Cancer Institute established a goal of reducing the age-adjusted mortality from cancer by 50% by the year 2000. It seems an impossible task to achieve, since at no time in the last 20 years has there been an actual decrease in that statistic. The skeptics seem to be correct. But the analogy of treating cancer to that of a war is simply not satisfactory. Skeptics in the medical and scientific community are all too often lumping a disparity of disorders together. Our knowledgeable public to whom medical care is being delivered express the problem clearly. If we were able to generate in our national consciousness a commitment to apply all of our scientific and academic resources to placing a man on the moon in 1969, why can't we cure cancer in 1986? Well, the reality is that there are nearly 100 different categories of cancer. And if we include the subcategories, there may be nearly 300 types. And hence, if we are to make a true analogy between our fight against cancer and our ventures in space, it would be necessary to place nearly 300 different astronauts on 300 different celestial bodies. It is therefore even more remarkable that our success in treating cancer has so rapidly been translated into improved survivals and frequent cures. In 1986, it is anticipated that 50% of people affected but not afflicted with cancer will be cured by one or another of our modern approaches. The cynic indicates that for the 3 major forms of cancer which claim lives in our country, lung, colon, and breast, that we have failed to make substantial progress. And yet in the last 20 years, we have achieved astounding progress in each of these disorders. In breast cancer, for example, fewer than 50% of people used to achieve long-term survival, while now more than 3/4 of people do so. We have learned that many women with breast cancer do not even require mastectomy for cure. We have learned that some women who have had breast cancer need brief forms of systemic treatment to sterilize and protect them from future reoccurrence of disease. The National Institutes of Health recently held a consensus development program in Bethesda, Maryland. It is now known that the administration of treatment for a brief period of time after initial diagnosis of breast cancer cures an additional 25% of people who in the past were not being cured. It is true that the 50% cure rate from colon cancer and the 75% cure rate from breast cancer does not approach those cure rates which we would like to see. Nevertheless, there are now a number of diseases, despite being advanced upon presentation, which are being cured with our modern techniques. Cancer of the testicle, the tumor most likely to kill youths between the ages of 17 and 35, is now being cured in more than 90% of young men. Hodgkin's disease, in its early forms curable in between 92 and 98% of persons, is being cured in 75% of people, even with far advanced disease. Similar and dramatic results have been achieved in childhood leukemia, some forms of adult leukemia, lymphoma, ovarian carcinoma, choriocarcinoma, and several other neoplasms. No, we have not lost the war against cancer. We are, on an individual basis, engaging the enemy in one battle after the next and winning each and every one. We are applying modern treatments and learning of new ones on almost a daily basis. The newer treatments of monoclonal antibodies, silver bullet treatments, bone marrow transplantation, interleukin-2, interferon, and others flood our news media. And they should, because they are gaining increasing experience and broader application with each passing day. Cancer represents an enormous personal and financial burden on thousands of people in the United States annually. But there is increasing room for hope and scientific substantiation that the burden is diminishing. This is Dr. Michael Nissenblatt for Health Facts.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Now that we are into summer, many of you who own or use swimming pools should be aware of basic safety precautions for children. According to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, an estimated 300 children under 5 years of age drown each year in residential swimming pools and spas. Here are some tips. Never leave a child unsupervised in a pool. Instruct babysitters about potential hazards to young children in and around swimming pools and the need for constant supervision. Completely fence the pool and position latches out of the reach of young children. Do not consider young children drown-proof because they've had some swimming lessons. They should always be watched carefully while swimming. Do not use flotation devices as a substitute for supervision. Keep toys away from the pool area because a young child playing with toys could accidentally fall into the water. Learn CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Non-slip surfaces should be installed on decks, diving boards, and ladders. Pool depths should be clearly marked. Slides for use by children should be installed where the water is at least 3 feet deep. More depth is required for older children and adults. Divers should observe these precautions. Never dive into above-ground pools because they are too shallow. Dive only from the center of the board. And dive with your hands in front of you and always steer up immediately upon entering the water to avoid hitting the bottom or sides of the pool. I hope that you will take the time to think about these precautions and be sure that you tell all the other members of your family or babysitters to avoid possible tragedy with a young child and a swimming pool accident. Have a safe and happy summer.
That's all for this week. Thanks for watching.